Welcome back everybody to the channel. It's me, Alejandro Mendoza, or the Nerdy Chicano. Either way, how you say it, it's all good here. And we're back again for another recap as we take a look at the films I watched from March 15th to the 21st as part of the 2024 Letterboxd March Around the World Challenge, where I watched 30 films from 30 different countries, including no rewatches, and I've been recapping them for you all and giving some small little reviews here. If you want some more concise thoughts, they are available on my Letterboxd. But of course, this is everything I watched from March 15th to the 21st. I hope everyone is doing well. I hope that this video finds you all happy, healthy, watching some great films, and getting through your physical media collection. I have been having fun doing this awesome challenge, but I'm not gonna lie guys, I am ready to get back on my physical media reviews and getting to talk about some great Blu-rays and 4Ks for you all. But this is the third recap of the 4 that I have planned in the month of March as I've been watching these films. If you're new here and you haven't subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and click that subscribe button. Make sure you also click the notification bell so you don't miss a single video that drops on this channel, and make sure you leave a like on this video as all of that helps me out so much. And if you want to lend an extra helping hand, I do have a Patreon set up over at patreon.com/thenerdchicano, where you can get early access to videos just like the one you're watching right now, along with my other reviews for physical media releases and all that wonderful stuff, along with other exclusives like video essays and other goodies that I have available over there. It is not mandatory, but it is appreciated. I am thankful for all the support you all give me, whether it's on Patreon, whether it's on the channel, whether it is commenting and discussing the films with me. All that stuff is so much fun, and it is so much appreciated from you guys. And I am very happy to be able to be doing this wonderful challenge with you all and being able to discuss them with you all on this channel. But of course, now let's go ahead and look at these films. So on March 15th, I decided to watch a film from Canada, and this is a semi-recent release. It is from 2022, and it is from the director Charlotte Lebon, and this is her directorial debut, Falcon Lake, and the synopsis reads: a shy teenager on a summer vacation experiences the joy and pain of young adulthood when he forges an unlikely bond with an older girl. I enjoyed Falcon Lake, and I have to say, for a directorial debut, especially from an actor turned director, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was good, and I really like the Academy aspect ratio that they used, and it really keeps some of these shots really tight and very claustrophobic, and I really enjoyed the locations that they used to actually film this movie in. At first, I don't know why I got this feeling of it might be a horror film, but it doesn't end up being that. It ends up being this very tense and very silent and patient drama that has a lot of really good moments in there, where I really thought that the direction was really solid and really well crafted. It was pushing along this narrative really well, but I just found some moments to not be as strong as the others. I thought that some aspects, like some relationships and also just some characters just feeling like they're in the back like that, and I thought that it was obviously not a perfect film, but it is a really good movie and it is really good directorial debut. So for that, I cut it a little bit of slack, but I thought that overall it was pretty good. On March 16th, I decided to watch a film from Japan, and with this one I decided to celebrate the life and career of Mr. Akira Toriyama, as I watched Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F from 2015, and the synopsis reads: one peaceful day on Earth, 2 remnants of Frieza's army named Sorbet and Tagoma arrive searching for the Dragon Balls with the aim of reviving Frieza. They succeed, and Frieza subsequently seeks revenge on the Saiyans. This film is directed by Tadayoshi Yamamuro, and it is the second film after Dragon Ball Z Battle of the Gods, which I liked and I thought it was good, but I wasn't as happy with it, as I felt it was just an overly long episode of Super, as a sort of like, precursor to it and being a promotional event of Super. Whereas with Resurrection F, I really enjoyed my time. This has everything there is to love about Dragon Ball, with the funny moments, the comedy, the silliness of it all, but also the awesome intense fights and the transformations from Super Saiyan to Super Saiyan Blue with Goku and Vegeta. I thought all that was great and I really enjoyed it. And I thought that the music was awesome and the animation is cool. And of course, I love Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball Z was such a massive part of my childhood, and I wanted to celebrate Mr. Toriyama's life and his career with this challenge because he meant so much to me and his work meant so much to me, and his death really felt like parts of my childhood had went with him, and I just wanted to finally watch this film. And now I actually started watching Super, and I've been enjoying watching Super a lot right now. On the 17th, I decided to watch a film from Sweden. And if you give me an international challenge, chances are when it comes to Sweden, I am going to select a film from Ingmar Bergman. And on that day, I decided to watch 1960's The Virgin Spring. And the synopsis reads, devout Christians Tor and Marta send their only daughter, the virginal Karin, and their foster daughter, the unrepentant Ingeri, to deliver candles to a distant church. On their way through the woods, the girls encounter a group of savage goat hoarders who brutally assault and murder Karin and Ingeri, and as Ingeri remains hidden. When the killers unwittingly seek refuge in the farmhouse of Torre Mareta, Torre plans a fitting revenge. I found The Virgin Spring to be incredibly profound and one of the best films that Ingmar Bergman has ever made. I found the performances to be incredible, especially from Max von Sydow, and I thought the overall theme of faith, devotion, family to all be so strong inside of its narrative. And I think that Bergman really culminates all of that within this really heartbreaking story of this girl who gets her innocence taken away from her, but inadvertently the father takes the innocence away from somebody else by hurting them as well. The Virgin Spring is an incredible film, and I can't wait to rewatch this for a future Nerdcore podcast episode, but I thought that it was just amazing, and it's just another reason why Ingmar Bergman is the powerful, incredible director that he is. On the 18th, I watched a film from South Korea, and with this, I started my journey through Kim Ki-duk's filmography, and I decided to watch 2004's 3 Iron. And the synopsis reads, a young man whose only possession is a motorcycle spends his time riding around the city looking for empty apartments. After finding one, he hangs out for a while, fixing himself something to eat, washing laundry, or making small repairs in return. He always tries to leave before the owners get back, but in one ostensibly empty mansion, he meets the abused wife of a rich man, and she escapes with him. I loved Kim Ki-duk's 3 Iron. I thought this movie was masterfully crafted. There is something that's being said with stares, with body language, and with the silence that is being shared between our characters in this film. When everybody is talking, Tae-suk and Sun-hwa manage to have these beautiful moments of silence and being able to gaze upon each other and really learn about each other without even speaking a single word. I thought that this movie was masterfully done, has some beautiful music, beautiful cinematography, and it makes me really excited to continue looking into the films of Kim Ki-duk. This is definitely one of my favorite films from the challenge. On the 19th, I watched a film from Austria, and it is the 2014 horror film from director Veronika Franz and Severin Fiala, and it is titled Goodnight Mommy, and the synopsis reads, in the heat of the summer lays a lonesome house in the countryside where 9-year-old twin brothers await their mother's return. When she comes home, bandaged after cosmetic surgery, nothing is like before, and the children start to doubt whether this woman is actually who she says she is. Goodnight Mommy has a lot of potential to be a really good horror film. It has some great shots, it has some really good music, some stunning visuals and effects as well, and overall the story is really interesting. It could lend itself to become a really great film, but the pacing sadly diminishes that, and the story becomes redundant, and it's hard to really stick with this film, and overall the film just feels very underwhelming when it gets to the end. I was just not a fan of Goodnight Mommy. It just didn't do much for me, but I have to say there are still some really good redeeming qualities like the cinematography, the music, the performances, the effects, the visuals themselves, and the imagery that's provided through those visuals. I think that deep inside this film there is the possibility to make a really good horror film. I just think it didn't do that with what it had. On the 20th, I watched a film from the Ivory Coast, and it is 2020's Night of the Kings from director Philippe Lacote, and the synopsis reads: a young man is sent to Lamaka, a prison in the middle of the Ivorian forest ruled by its inmates. As tradition goes with the rising of the red moon, he is designated by the boss to be the new Roman and must tell a story to the other prisoners. Learning what fate awaits him, he begins to narrate the mystical life of the legendary outlaw named Zamakin and has no choice but to make his story last until dawn. I quite enjoyed Night of the Kings. I think it has some really stunning cinematography inside of the prison. I think that they just light that so beautifully, and it's really attractive, and the very beautiful warmth of the lights really lends itself to the narrative based around storytelling. Sadly, the moments when we're not inside the prison are the moments that just don't grab me like the moments in the prison. I think that the performances are really strong, the music is really good, the cinematography is fantastic as well, but I think that it's overall a pretty unbalanced film. Yet, I still enjoyed it, but I think that this could be better, and there's something hidden in there that could be an amazing film. But it's got a lot to say about storytelling, about tradition, and about the socio-political stance of the Ivory Coast. And I'm always happy to look into more films from Africa as I'm trying to diversify the films that I watch from Africa this year. And I'm really happy that I got to Night of the Kings, because this was one of the shortlisted films in 2021 for the Academy Award for Best International Feature. This is a good movie, it's just not great. On March 21st, I watched a film from Norway. It is Utøya, July 22, from director Erik Popp, and it is from the year 2018, and the synopsis reads: the movie tells the story about a girl who has to hide and survive from a right-wing terrorist while looking for her little sister during the terrorist attacks in Norway on the island Utøya, July 22nd. This is one of the best films I've watched during this challenge, and one of the best films I've seen in my whole entire life. This film is really harrowing, and its execution through a one take really crafts this film as a masterful attempt at showcasing real life events. Films like 1917 use the one take as a gimmick and ultimately fails to me, but Utøya masterfully crafts itself a amazing narrative that really tries to resensitize people's views on violence, especially terrorism. This movie is super compelling. It is really powerful. It's a movie that definitely stuck with me after I watched it, and I have not been able to shake it off. Well crafted, amazingly performed. The film keeps a very muted color palette, and there is not a lot of music, and it is mostly a bunch of sound effects of these guns really shooting off, and it just has a way of really sticking with you. This film is really good. It is one of the best films I've seen this challenge, and one of the best films I've seen ever. And I know I've repeated myself with that, but it's just that damn great. That concludes our recap for this week. Next week is the final recap, and I'm trying to finish up all the films next week, as I upload this usually on Fridays and I record on Thursday. So with that said, I'm trying to finish up all those films, since I would have a couple days left after, but I want to make sure I get them all in this recap that I'm doing next week. So as always, I thank you all so much for joining me. I'm going to link Lisa's Letterboxd list below so you can know the rules and you can see the other people that are joined in there. She has her spreadsheet already ready where she has all the people who are involved in this challenge, so go ahead and check that out. All that's going to be linked below. And as always, make sure you keep up to date with me on all things social media by following me at The Nerd Chicano on Instagram, Twitter, Letterboxd, Serialized, TikTok, and on Twitch. I'm the same handle on all of those. So let's go ahead and talk some cinema and talk about some films. I really would like to interact with you all. In the comments, let me know which one of the films from the recap you enjoy the most, which one was a surprise that I covered, and are you doing this challenge? And if so, let me know what you're watching for the challenge. Make sure that you also go and check out the Nerdcore by checking out thenerdcore.com. That's our website, along with our Twitch, YouTube, and Kick at the Nerdcore. We're the same handle on all 3 of those sites. We're on all podcast platforms as well. We could use your viewership, so please go ahead and go over there and check us out. As I said, this is going to be it, guys, for this week's recap. I can't wait to get back into my physical media reviews because I have a lot to showcase you guys that I picked up during last month and this month. So expect a new collection update soon. But for now, we're just going to finish up this challenge. But for now, I'll catch you guys later. And as always, to my wonderful cinephiles and renowned scholars, celebrate the love of cinema today, tomorrow, and every day after. Catch you on the next one, guys. Bye-bye.